I'm welcoming all of you for Sunday Feast lecture. I'm sorry I am late. There was a crash on 91, so it took longer time to come here, but at least I was able to come 10 minutes before expected timing. So today's topic is how to approach the Lord or how to attain the Supreme. So this has been given by Lord Chaitanya. So teaching of Lord Chaitanya, chapter 5, how to approach the God. In truth, all Vedic literature directs the human being towards the perfect stage of devotion. The path of fruitive activities, speculative knowledge and meditation do not lead one to the perfectional stage, but the Lord is actually approachable by one who follows the process of devotional service. Therefore, all Vedic literature recommends that one accept this process. In this regard, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu quoted from the Lord's instructions to Uddhava in Srimad Bhagavatam 11.14.20 to 21. Na sadhayanti mam yogo, na sankhya dharam uddhava, na swadhyayas tapastyago, yatha bhaktir namorjita, bhaktyaham ekaya grahyah shraddhayatma priyah satam bhakti punnati mananistha swapakam api sambhavat. My dear Uddhava, neither philosophical speculations nor meditational yoga nor penance can give me such pleasure as devotional service practiced by the living entities. I am dear only to my devotees, and I can be achieved only by devotional service. Even an extremely low-born person will become free from all contamination if he takes to my devotional service. Devotional service is the only path by which one can achieve the Supreme Person. Devotional service is the only perfection accepted by all Vedic literature, as just as when a poor man receives some treasure, he becomes happy. When one attains to devotional service, his material pains are automatically vanquished. As one advances in devotional service, he attains love of Godhead, and as he advances in this love, he becomes free from all material bondage. One should not think, however, that the disappearance of poverty and the liberation from bondage as the goal of devotional service. Love of Krishna, love of God, is itself the goal, and it consists in relishing the reciprocation of loving service with the Lord. In all Vedic literature, we find that the attainment of the loving relationship between the living entities and the Supreme Lord is the goal of devotional service. Our actual function is devotional service, and our ultimate goal is love of Godhead. Therefore, in all Vedic literature, Krishna in the ultimate center Krishna is the ultimate center, and through knowledge of Krishna, all problems of life are solved. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu then quoted the verse from the Padma Purana. There are many different Puranas which instruct us for worshipping different types of demigods, but such instructions only bewilders people into thinking that the demigods are supreme. Yet, if one carefully studies the Puranas, he will find that Krishna, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, is the only object of worship. For example, in the Markandeya Purana, there is mention of Devi worship or worship of the goddess Durga or Kali. But in this same Purana, it is also stated that all the demigods, even Durga, are but different energies of Vishnu. Thus, the study of Purana reveals Vishnu, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, to be the only object of worship. In conclusion, is that directly or indirectly, all types of worship are more or less directed to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. The Bhagavad-Gita 9:23 confirms that one who worships the demigods in fact worshipping only Krishna, because the demigods are but different part of the body of Vishnu or Krishna. But that such worship is irregular. Srimad Bhagavatam 11.21.22 to 23 confirms this irregularity, are answering the questions what is the purpose of different types of worship described in the Vedic literature. In the Vedic literature, there are various divisions. One is speculations of the supreme absolute truth, when what that then is the purpose of the ritualistic sections of the Vedic literature, and what is the purpose of Upasana Kand, which contains different mantras or hymns of worshipping various demigods, and what is the purpose of philosophical speculation on the subject of the absolute truth. Srimad Bhagavatam replies that in actually all of these methods of described in the Vedic literature indicate the worship of the Supreme Lord Vishnu. In other words, they are all indirected towards indirect way of worshipping the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Sacrifices contained in the ritualistic portions of this literature are meant for satisfaction of Supreme Lord Vishnu. Indeed, because yajna, sacrifice, is specifically meant for satisfying Vishnu, another name of Vishnu is Yajneshwar, or Lord of Sacrifice. नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते श्रीरूपस्वामिनिति नामिने। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदांत स्वामिनिति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. So this is wonderful chapter, and yesterday I was talking to Jiva Mataji. She told that this is the first book she started reading when she came to the Krishna consciousness. And I was asking permission, it is possible to read? Then she told, yes, why not? This is the Srimad Bhagavatam in other world. So wonderful. And here Lord Chaitanya is saying, Srila Prabhupada has given this book for us, that all Vedic literature directs towards the perfect stage of devotion. So according to capacity, one can move towards the Supreme Lord. So there are, Veda describes the three modes of nature, and Krishna is saying to the Arjuna that you have to transcend yourself from the modes. So there are, Veda deals the four topics of dharma, artha, kama, moksha. And beyond that there is another pancham purushartha, and that is called the bhakti. So that has been described here, bhakti. So all topic described bhakti related to whatever literature is there. At the beginning, when anything, any performance is done, sacrifices, worshipping the demigods or anyone, and that time during the purification, it is mentioned that Om apavitra pavitro va sarvavasthangato pipa smaret pundarikacham sahvaya vyantara suchi, either pure or impure, either inside or outside, just by remembering the pundarikacha, means Vishnu or Krishna, that person or things, paraphernalia, that will be purified, sanctified by the remembrance of the Lord Vishnu. And then also there is a sankalpa, what is your intention to do that particular worship or sacrifice. So there also it start with the Om Vishnur Vishnur Vishnuragya Pravartamanasya, and then after that Kali Yuga, in this time at that particular village or this side or other side of the river Ganges, and particular tithi means period and all those things. And then finally I am doing the worship of this demigod worship or Devi worship, and then that result has to come from the mercy of the Lord Vishnu. So that is the meaning of the sankalpa. So result giving is the Krishna. Krishna is giving the result. So by hearing the name of the Vishnu, and then that person will move consciousness to the higher, and then moving from the ignorance to the goodness, passion to the goodness, and then pure mode of the goodness. So that's what it is saying here. And Lord Chaitanya is describing to Srimad Bhagavatam that Lord Krishna is saying that I am not satisfied by the philosophical speculations and then also penance or meditations, but I am happy by the devotional service. And even when Durvasa Muni was trying to test the Maharaj Ambarish, that time Sudarshan Chakra was chasing to the Durvasa Muni, and then finally he reached to the Lord Vishnu. Then he told, I am not in my under control, I am controlled by the devotee. So it means devotional service attracts the Lord Krishna. So he is attracted by the devotional service, and that's why there are 6 characteristics of the devotional service. So one is, it gives kleshagni, whatever distress is there will be gone. And then it will brings all auspiciousness. It has been mentioned in this, reading the paragraphs. And then also, it is beyond the mukti. Moksha laghutakrit means it becomes very small in front of the bhakti, compared to the bhakti. And then also Sri Krishna Akarsini, it attracts the Lord Krishna, and it is very rare. Sudurlabha. Durlabha means rare, and then rare to rare, Sudurlabha. That all these are the characteristics of the devotional service. And why to perform the devotional service? Lord Krishna, he says in Bhagavad-Gita, chapter 10, Chaturshloki verse, that I am the source of everything, means material and spiritual, and the wise person who knows, he engages in my devotional service. Devotional service means to serve to the Lord with full enthusiastically and in a loving way. So there is a loving exchange. Love means there is a exchange between two two lovers. So, and then what happens? Their thought goes unto the Krishna, and then after that they discuss about the Krishna. Tushtanti cha ramanti cha. And then they will get the great satisfaction and pleasure, and by that there is also reciprocation from the Lord Krishna, and he says that those who are constantly devoted to me, and I give the understanding by which they can come to me. Where? Not in this material world. They will go back home, back to Godhead, in spiritual sky, not in this material sky. And then there is no birth, death, old age, disease, or anything. No measure is Vaikuntha. That is spiritual sky's name is Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means there is no anxiety, anxiety-free planet. We don't have to worry about the neighbors or other people or some other competition and all those things. There is a spiritual competition, and by that there will be great satisfactions by serving to the Lord. Not like enviousness. There is a competition, but it is giving the releasement kind of satisfaction, competition. And then Krishna, he shows that he gives the special mercy, he gives the special favors, and reciting in the heart as a Paramatma, and he destroys the ignorance by giving the shining lamp of the knowledge. So that is the reciprocations. And so it is not like a one way. It is a both way. That is the love. To serve unconditionally. There is no term and conditions. Because if I am giving you these things, so you have to give that things to me back. No. Unalloyed, unmotivated, uninterrupted. And that is called the pure devotional service. Why to perform the pure devotional service? Because we are the part and parcel of the Lord. And what is the duty of the part and parcel? Anyone? To serve? Yeah, to serve to the whole. To serve to the Lord. So we are part and parcel of the Lord, like this hand and finger, all those things are the part of the body. So what is the function? To serve to the body. But we are the part and parcel of the Lord. Lord is the supreme controller. So we are the part and parcel of the Lord. So we also have the controlling propensity. And that's why we have the options. If there is a loving exchange, then there is no term and condition. So we have the choice, free will it is called, choice, that either we can serve to the Lord or we can be independent from the Lord and then serve ourselves to become the slave of our senses. There are choice. So we have taken the choice, we used our free will in a misusing way, like a spoiled child, and then we came to this material world. Lord created for us this material world, and we are going one body to another body and Lordshiping from here in this material world, but nothing is in our control. So we have to come to the stage what we have forgotten. So Jivera Swarupa Hoy, Krishnera Nitya Das. We are eternally servant of the Lord Krishna, but we have forgotten. How we have forgotten? As soon as when we comes in this material contact, due to the material contact, it is called mod. And when we come in contact with the mods, we forget ourselves, we think we are the body, and that is the misidentification of ourselves. We are not the body, we are the soul, and we are the part and parcel of the Lord. Soul's duty is to serve to the super soul, and that we have to revive our consciousness. And by reviving our consciousness, that process is called the bhakti. And then loving exchange happens depending upon how we are performing. And then we will be karma free, and our all activities will be related to the Lord service. Even though it may looks like something looks like a mundane material, but it will not be related to that material. It will be related to the service of the Lord. But it has to be performed under the guidance, authority, bona fide authority. There are 4 Vaishnava Sampradaya are there. So that person can go any of the Sampradaya, and then they can start faithfully remain in that Sampradaya and to follow the instructions of their gurus, and then finally they can lead towards the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And when they will do it, they will be performing joyfully. And definition of pure devotional service is Anya Vilasita Sunyam Jnana Karmadi Anavritam Anukulena Krishnanusilana Uttama Bhakti. So Anya Vilasita Sunyam. There is no desire. So we have to become the desireless, correct? No? So we have to have the desire. Yeah. So we have to have the desire, but desire has to be to serve to the Lord Krishna. So, but not material desire. So Anya Bhilasita, there is no other desire apart from the Krishna. So that has to be desireless, materially, fully exhausted. Akinchinatvam means I don't have anything, nothing in my possessions. That way, then we can approach to someone, those who are having. Krishna is, he is the source of everything, so we have to surrender to him. And then Jnana Karmadi Anamritam. Jnana means mental speculations. Not like a Krishna, there are knowledge. By reading this, Krishna is the object, Krishna is the subject, Krishna is the knowledge, and Krishna is the goal of the knowledge. So that knowledge is perfect knowledge. But thinking our way just to a speculative way, that knowledge is not required. So that has to be free from. And then also sakama karma means fruitive activities. If I am doing Krishna this favor for you, so give me back these things to me. So that mentality has to be gone. And then after that, Anya Vilasita Sunyam Jnana Karmadi Anamrita Anukulyena. It has to be favorable to the Krishna. Anukulen, to follow the whom? To following our previous acharyas. Anukulena Krishna Anusilana, to follow our previous acharyas, Mahajana, and that is called the topmost devotional service. That is the meaning, definition of the pure devotional service given by Srila Rupa Goswami. If you will see the altar on the below the altar, right hand side to our side, then you will see there are 6 Goswami. So second one is the Rupa Goswami. He has given this definition. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given the verse from the Padma Purana that worshipping the demigods, people may be bewildered thinking that because of the modes of their nature, and that demigod worship is required, are given by the Vedas, because they have to move, they have to transcend their modes, ignorance to the passion to the goodness, and finally pure goodness. So mode of goodness is the platform for the devotional service. Like if we have to catch the train, then we have to stand on a platform. So mode of goodness is good to start the bhakti. From there we can catch the train for the devotional service. And then he has given the example of worshipping of the different demigods. So Krishna is the source of everything. He says in Bhagavad-Gita 5.29, Bhoktaram yagitapsam sarvalok maheshwaram suhridam sarvabhutanam gyatva mam santim rachati. So he is a person in a full consciousness, knowing me as the ultimate beneficiary, and sacrifice and goal of the sacrifice, ultimate is the benefactor of all those things, and supreme lord of all planets and demigods, and that and the benefactor and well-wisher of the all living entities. So he is the ultimate benefactor for all of us. He is the best friend. And then that person attains the peace. Peace means, meaning of peace is here from the material misery. So he will be becoming the happy. How? Just by knowing that. And knowing means if we will know, then there is something to do with. So we have to perform the devotional service. And about the yogi. So yogi is saying in 6.47, yogi namapi sarvesham madgat chetanatratma shraddhavan bhajante yo mam sami yuktatamo. So those person who is constantly engaged in my devotional service 24/7, then that person is the best yogi. So that devotee will be thinking about how to serve to the Lord and in different ways, and then how to do the preaching and all those things, engaging Pyari Prabhu and Jiva Mataji. They have been serving more than 50 years constantly. So it is not possible. If it is material, then it is not possible. And they are relishing, and they are giving us platform to do all those things. So that is the meaning of that. Means the person who is the devotee will give the opportunity to the others. So coming back to the demigod worship, chapter 7, 22, it has been those who always worshipping me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. That is in 9:22 Lord Krishna is saying. And so that is the reciprocations also from the Supreme Lord. And those who are the devotee of the other God, who worship them with faith, actually worship only me, O son of Kunti, but they do so in a wrong way. So, but there it is mentioned that worshipping the demigods is indirectly worshipping the Lord Krishna. So they are, if you will see the Virat Rupa of the Lord Krishna, demigods are included in the body. So satisfying, instead of separately satisfying to the demigods, like putting the food into the hand, injecting the food into the hand. That is how much satisfaction will be there. When food will go to the stomach, then whole body will satisfy. So result is coming from the Krishna. So no need to worship separately to the demigods Devi and Devata, directly worshipping to the Krishna, those they will be also satisfied themselves, because they are the part and parcel of the Supreme. And also Lord Krishna is giving, those who worship the demigods will take birth among the demigods. Those who worship worship the ancestor go to the ancestor. Those who worship ghost and spirit will take birth among such beings, and those who worship me will live with me. So they will go to the spiritual sky. But other demigods, gods and all those things, ancestors, planet, all those things are in this material world. So one day that will be finished. But the spiritual sky will remain the same, and that is the Shaswata Loka, means eternal. So the person who goes, they will reside eternally forever. Coming to the back to the chapter 7, those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desire, surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulation of worship according to their own nature. I am in everyone's heart and the super soul. As soon as one desires to worship some demigods, I make his faith steady so that he can devote himself into that particular deities. So that is the reciprocal of Krishna. He gives develop the faith according to their modes, and then they can achieve whatever things they have there in mind. But he's saying, endowed with the faith, such faith, he endeavors to worship a particular demigods and obtain his desires, but in actually these benefits are bestowed by me alone. As I discussed at the beginning, when someone is doing the worship of the demigods, that there is an intention, sankalpa, and that during the sankalpa, priest will chant that whatever you are doing, that result has to come from by the mercy of the Lord Vishnu, and he is the ultimate goal. Yajna means Vishnu, so it has to be penance, austerity, tapasya and yajna. All those things has to be performed for the satisfaction of the Lord Vishnu. So, and then here in conclusion, already I read that demigod worship they are doing indirectly, but worshipping to the Lord Krishna, he gives the faith so that they can develop, but they are at the wrong place. Since neophytes are not on the transcendental level, the Vedic literature advised them to worship different types of demigods according to their situation in the different modes of material nature. The idea is that gradually such neophyte may rise to the transcendental plane and engage in the service of Vishnu. So by worshipping the demigods, because they have some pious activities, and then they will try to help to the Krishna consciousness movement, or giving charity to the temple, Lord Vishnu's temple, Krishna's temple, and then they will develop some sukriti. And then when they will come in contact with the devotee, then immediately they will start worshipping to the Lord Krishna according to their capacity. For example, Puranas advise the neophyte attached to the eating flesh or to eat it only after offering to the goddess Kali. The philosophical sections of the Vedic hymns are intended to enable into the distinguishing the Supreme Lord of Maya after one understand the position of Maya, one can approach the Supreme Lord in pure devotional service. That is the actual purpose of philosophical speculation, and Krishna uh, confirms this in Bhagavad-Gita 7.19. After speculations, many birth, the philosophical speculators and philosophers ultimately surrender unto me, Vasudeva, and accept that I am everything. Vasudevam Sarvam Iti Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. So it can thus be seen that all Vedic rituals and different type of worship and philosophical speculation ultimately aimed at Krishna. So this month is very auspicious month. I am concluding now whatever I discussed, coming to the conclusion. Conclusion is that to surrender to the Lord Krishna, and how to surrender? By chanting the holy name of the Lord. It has to be through surrendering to the under the guidance. Guidance is bona fide authority. And under the bona fide authority, someone start the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. And by chanting the holy name of the Lord, whatever our material desire is there, that will be cleansed and then develop the love of the God. And that's what Lord Chaitanya has given by chanting the holy name of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So this month is called Damodar month. It comes generally October and November. So Dam means Udar, Dam means rope, and Udar means belly. Krishna is bounded by his mother Yashoda, you can see in the picture, by the rope. So this month he was bounded by the rope on Diwali, and this month is called Damodar month, and every month is having the presiding deities. So Damodar month's Kartik month is presiding deity is Srimati Radharani. So she is very dear to the Lord Krishna. So this month is called like a cell. If you are going to some stores, you will see this kind of cell, that kind of cell. So Krishna is bounded, and if someone is performing the devotional service, that will multiply thousands and thousands of the time. But we have to surrender to the Krishna with faith. Faith is very important, and it will grow and grow. So best ways to serve to the Lord Damodar in the month of Kartik, and then our life will be achieved. Another thing is that let me read, if possible, I think 1 minute I can read at least one verse. Hari Bhakti Vilas. There is no other month equal to Kartik, and there is no other yuga equal to Krita. There is no other scriptures equal to Vedas. There is no other place of pilgrimage equal to Ganges. Therefore, the month of Kartik, means Damodar month, is very dear to the Vaishnavas, people dedicated to the Lord Vishnu. So we should start dedicating to the Lord Damodar, and then everything will be fine. So any question or comment, there are 4 minutes. Yes, Prabhu. And also, I got the Radha Kundad Jal from the Vrindavan, and that Radha Kunda, Syama Kunda appear in the month of Damodar month. So Pujari can give all of you this water to, so that we can purify ourselves also. Yes, Prabhu.
Prabhu, I have two questions. First question is like all our Vedas, they are referring to Lord Vishnu, and the last verse also what you quote is also referring to Vishnu. Why not it is directly referring to Krishna? I know it's Vishnu is the incarnation of like Krishna.
Yeah, he's saying all Vedas are referring to the Vishnu, but not to the Krishna. Because in this material world, when Krishna's incarnation comes as a Vishnu, so Krishna, he resides where? In Goloka Vrindavana Dham. So that is the supreme abode. There are in Vaikuntha, we talked, there is a place called no anxiety free place, spiritual sky. There are different planets, and in that planet, topmost planet is called the Goloka Vrindavan. So his incarnations come as a Vishnu. So that's why people in this material world know him as a Vishnu. That's what my understanding. Maybe Pyari Prabhu or Jiva Mataji can add some more. She is behind. So if you will see any problem comes to the demigods, where they will go? They will not go to the Krishna. Krishna is residing in Golok Vrindavan. So for that function, Krishna himself incarnated in the form of Vishnu. So they have to go to the Vishnu. Because if you have problem in the office, where you will go to your boss office, not to his home. Correct? You don't know where is his home. So mostly people will go to Vishnu. Clear or doubt?
Yeah.
Somewhat. Not fully. Okay. He has another one more question.
I forgot.
Okay. We can discuss it. Yes, Prabhu.
In the extension of this question, throughout the Bhagavatam, even in the 10th canto, at the arrival of Krishna, they were referring Vishnu only. And there is a reference like how he is different from, probably I can derive because there is a Purusha reference was given. So that could be used as a differentiation. But like again the next verses goes again on the Vishnu.
Yeah.
So I think that when I look like I'm keep searching for this reference where like
But last verse of the Srimad Bhagavatam, keeping the chart, Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranasanam. Sarva Papa Pranasanam, by chanting the holy name of the Lord. And what he is saying, referring, Nama Sankirtanam Yasya Sarva Papa Pranasanam Pranamo Dukha Samanastam Namami Harim Param. So by offering obeisances to the Lord Hari, will be free from all miseries. So Hari means Krishna or Vishnu also. There is no, you don't have to separately differentiate between all of them. Think as a same. Then life will be easy. Otherwise problem is there.
Because we are taught like Vishnu is the supreme.
Yeah,
When
he is the supreme. But when you will go categorizing, then there is a different kind of understanding is there. Yes, Prabhu. Last question. Otherwise, she will blow. Okay. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. वांछा कल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यश्च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। अनंत कोटि वैष्णव लॉर्ड चैतन्य की जय। गौर प्रेमानंद की